Chapter 39. Lin Feng. The rain was heavily flowing down. The sky was filled with rain clouds and the scent of rain filled the air. Pedestrians on the streets were running from place to place to try and find shelter from the storm. A young man with a stern look on his face was slowly riding a horse down the street, unbothered by the rain. He was wearing a black waterproof cape and was slowly heading towards the Whistle Wind restaurant. "Take good care of my horse," said the young man to one of the restaurant staff as he handed over the reins of his horse. He then calmly walked into the Whistle Wind restaurant. Because of the rain, the Whistle Wind restaurant was bustling with people and the sounds of laughter could be heard all around. The ground floor of the restaurant was so full that it was hard to move within the crowd. The restaurant was filled with all sorts of people who had come to watch and participate in the annual meetings. The sounds of drunken conversations could be heard all around. The atmosphere was dense with the discussion of rumors and events. "Have you heard what happened? Yesterday, Lin Hai and his son, that piece of trash called Lin Feng, were expelled from the Lin clan. The Lin clan had finally decided to remove the trash from their doorstep. I think the news is already widely spread in the entire city of Yangzhou. No need for you to tell me. Lin Ba Dao is extremely strong. News has already spread about how he defeated Lin Hai and chased him from the clan. However, not only is he very strong but his son and daughter are greatly talented. They have both already broken through to the Ling Qi layer. They can be proud of themselves to reach such a level at a young age. They are much stronger than that piece of trash will ever be. They say Lin Ba Dao defeated Lin Hai and kicked him from the clan after he ruthlessly attempted to interrupt the fight between Lin Feng and Lin Hong. Lin Feng would have been killed by Lin Hong if the fight continued. How shameless can a clan head be, to attack those of the younger generation without warning?" There were surprisingly a large amount of people commenting what had happened within the Lin clan. Lin Feng had arrived on the first floor and was about to sit down when he heard the comments from the people discussing. He stood up and started heading back down to the ground floor of the restaurant. "These lies which are spread about the Lin clan. Obviously, we left because we couldn't stand it anymore. Are Lin Ba Dao and his family really such geniuses?" Lin Feng thought sarcastically. Lin Ba Dao's audacity seemed to have no end. He had even said that he personally defeated Lin Hai. Lin Feng was keeping calm in the face of the unexpected rumors. "Dear guest, how may I help you?" asked a server while greeting Lin Feng. "I would like a bottle of wine and some pickles," Lin Feng said. In a flash, what he ordered was already on the table. The restaurant was very used to the busy atmosphere at this time of year. "I heard that the Whistle Wind restaurant is the place to come to hear the latest news. I wonder if someone could tell me about the annual meeting for Yangzhou City," thought Lin Feng while pouring some wine into his glass. He raised his glass and toasted that his father was finally free from the Lin clan. He savored every drop. The alcohol gave him a warm sensation in his stomach. The wine tonight was quite strong. It was completely different from the alcohol Lin Feng had drunk before. He was used to receiving the finer wines on the top floor of the restaurant. At that moment, 3 people walked into the Whistle Wind restaurant. There were 2 females and 1 male. Everybody in the restaurant had their eyes on the 3 people who had entered. The young man didn't need to speak, he just continued to fan himself with his feathered fan. They had just emerged from an extremely elegant carriage and all had a feather fan in hand. They all looked extremely confident and self-assured. The 2 girls were both wearing green robes, one light green while the other had a tinge of blue within. Not only did they have a commanding presence but they were also extremely beautiful. The face looked delicate and their bodies were also extremely alluring. The crowd was paying attention to one of the girls in particular. Even though it was raining, that girl didn't have a single drop of water on her body. She was wearing a set of green robes with a hint of blue. She looked as serene and as calm as the ocean. It looked like the color of her robes complemented each of her physical features. Every part of her body was fascinating to the eye. Her eyes were clear as water. She was extremely attractive. Seduction seemed to be something engraved in her soul. The beautiful girl wearing light green robes standing next to her had lost all her splendor by standing next to such a beautiful girl. "Lin Hai, you go upstairs first, I'm staying here for a moment," said the other young girl. Her voice was pleasant to the ear. "All right," replied Lin Hai, still holding her feather fan. Immediately after, she went to the first floor. Then, the young girl wearing the light green robes glanced at the room looking for a good place to sit. "Miss, it looks like there are no seats." The young girl wearing light green robes looked around the room but didn't find a place to sit. The restaurant was crowded more than usual. "Miss, wait for a moment please." The young girl wearing light green robes had noticed there was a young man sitting alone at his table. She started to move towards Lin Feng. Lin Feng raised his head, looked at the young girl wearing light green robes and asked, "Is there something I can help with?" "You are listening to Peerless Martial God audio on light novel Aloud." "Indeed," said the young girl while throwing 1 silver coin on Lin Feng's table and then said, "I'm giving you this silver coin in exchange for your table." Lin Feng was stupefied and then slightly smiled. He also took out a silver coin and put it on the table as well. "What is that supposed to mean?" asked the young girl while frowning. Lin Feng raised his head and gazed directly into the young girl's eyes and said, "I think you look unpleasant. Therefore, I am giving you this silver coin to go and find another table far out of my sight. You dare, said the young girl while looking confused and angry. Right after, she said in a cold and detached tone, "How dare you, do you even know who I am?" Lin Feng remained silent and shook his head. He continued to pour wine in his glass and drank it. "I don't give a damn who you are. Now run along," said Lin Feng unexpectedly in a very cold tone. When the young girl heard Lin Feng with his impolite speech and cold tone, she could not help but be angry. She suddenly released a strong qi from her body. Lin Feng had a stunned expression on his face. The young girl was younger than him and she had already broken through to the 8th qi layer. No wonder that she had such an arrogant attitude. "What, are you scared now?" asked the young girl who had noticed Lin Feng's expression. She had a smile of victory on her face, like a child who had just won an argument. Lin Feng was stupefied again at her reaction but remained silent. "Lu please don't cause trouble," said a soft and gentle voice. It was the beautiful and fascinating girl wearing the green robes with a hint of blue. She was gazing at the young girl in light green robes with disapproving eyes. "Lu is always like this. Please don't blame her," said the beautiful girl to Lin Feng while smiling. Her words were like a pleasant spring breeze. Right after, she moved towards Lin Feng's table and sat down with him. She looked very at ease. Lin Feng frowned. He hadn't heard any of them apologize for their actions, almost as if they did not have to explain themselves to him. Besides, the girl in the green and blue hadn't even asked Lin Feng if he agreed before she sat down. "Do I look like one of your servants? In this world there are masters and there are servants. Today, I am the master of this table and I did not give a servant like you permission to sit," said Lin Feng in a sarcastic tone. The beautiful girl was speechless, then she groaned in displeasure. Everywhere where she went, everybody obeyed and respected her. If she sat at the same table as someone else, that person should feel extremely honored. Most men had no chance to even meet her eyes, let alone be seated at the same table as her. On that day, she hadn't thought she would come across someone like Lin Feng who would ridicule her. "Miss, we should teach this ignorant person a lesson," said the young girl wearing light green robes. She had become even more angry at Lin Feng's words. "Forget it, Lu said the beautiful girl while shaking her head. Then, she stood up and said, "Since he doesn't welcome us, let's just find another table. It's just that some people lack tact. Next time, we should pay more attention and avoid these people." While saying that, the beautiful girl had turned around and left. "Miss Na Lan, that guy is unable to recognize you and how great you are. Your family is one of great power. Don't lower yourself to his level. I have a lot of respect for you. If you wish, you can sit here," said people in the crowd while inviting the girl to sit with them. The beautiful young girl didn't refuse this time. She nodded and accepted, which made the person inviting her overjoyed at his luck. "That guy is so lucky. Why didn't I invite her first?" groaned people in the crowd watching the scene. They infinitely regretted they hadn't made the first move. What kind of guy is that? He really must not have eyes. Miss Na Lan wants to sit with him, which is something that happens once in a lifetime, and he refuses. That was maybe the luckiest event of his life. He is a complete idiot. Lin Feng could hear all sorts of comments all around him. Lin Feng shook his head. Servility, arrogance, power and all the things related. People clung to rich and power people. Lin Feng only believed in mutual respect. If someone respected Lin Feng, then he'd respect them. The girl in green and blue robes and the girl in the light green robes hadn't respected Lin Feng from the beginning to the end. Should he have acted in a servile way even though they hadn't showed him any respect? He would never lower himself to living on his knees. Lin Feng had heard from the surrounding conversations the status that the girl wearing green and blue robes held. She was the only daughter of the head of the city, the beautiful and talented Na Lan Feng. Contrary to what one might expect, Na Lan Feng and Lin Qian actually are pretty similar. They consider everything and everyone as worms beneath them. They ignore everyone and just care about themselves. They are both very selfish individuals. Lin Feng thought while shaking his head. Concerning Na Lan Feng, there were many rumors about her in which she sounded to be wonderful and perfect, but in reality she was the opposite. "Miss Na Lan Feng, now that you arrived, why not come upstairs for a chat? We might even invite you to join us," said a cold voice coming from the higher levels of the restaurant. The entire crowd was stunned. Who was audacious enough to talk to her like that? Who dared to be so rude? "I made the young miss of the Lin clan wait for a long time. Well then, Na Lan will come and join you," said Na Lan Feng while laughing. She immediately went upstairs. Young miss of the Lin clan? That was Lin Qian of the Lin clan. No wonder she dared talk to Na Lan Feng that way. I heard that Lin Qian has completely transformed. There is no comparison possible between past and present. She has an amazing talent and she has an excellent reputation within the Hao Yu sect. That's right, it must be Lin Qian. I would have never thought that the city of Yangzhou could have two amazingly beautiful young girls with such talent. The voice heard a moment ago was indeed Lin Qian's voice. She had the same arrogant voice as before. Lin Feng had immediately recognized it. Lin Feng learnt many things while listening to what people were saying in the restaurant. He also heard news of what was happening in the city. On that day, one of the most amazing junior cultivators in the restaurant was Na Lan Feng, but that wasn't all. Lin Qian had also come, as well as other younger disciples of the Jiyu clan, of the Wen clan. They were all sitting upstairs, completely unaware that Lin Feng was sat beneath them. End of chapter 39. Hope you guys enjoy the chapter. Please consider subscribing and hit that bell button for future updates.